15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
Welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I'm Belis Quetta, and here is the news. And on the headlines to this morning, parents are anxious as NYSC continues to deploy corps members in the northeast. Dozens die as Burkina Faso militants raid convoy. Afghanistan crisis, Biden says no American will be left behind. And on business news, FEC approves 658 million naira for sniffer dogs, and education and others will be for 21 billion naira. And Nigeria claims mixed relay gold at the World Under-20 Championship. Stay with us as the details of that news come after the short break. Welcome back, and now the news in full. We are not capable of rewarding our lawyers, says IPOB. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, yesterday said it is not capable of rewarding its lawyers and Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, including Mr. Ifeanyi Ejiofor, for all they are doing for them. And the pro-Biafra group, while reacting to alleged attacks against Mr. Ejiofor, said he remains IPOB's lead counsel and its leader's lead legal representative, and they repose strong confidence in his ability and capacity. IPOB described as ridiculous the attack by some uniformed family members of the group who are criticizing Mr. Ejiofor's support for the suspension of the seat at home, saying that the alleged attempts by the Nigerian security agencies to eliminate the lawyer at the cost of following the alleged inability to get him compromised is enough reason to appreciate what he is doing for the pro-Biafra group. And now moving forward to another development, court extends Igbo's restraining order against the AGF and DSS. The Abuja division of the Federal High Court yesterday debunked media reports that no judge was available to sign the warrant for the release of 12 persons arrested at the residence of Yoruba Nation activist Sunday Adeyemo, fondly called Sunday Igboho, after they perfected all their bail conditions. And this came on a day Justice Ladiran Akintola and Oyo State High Court sitting in Abuja, in Ibadan, extended the restraining order in favor of Igboho against the Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, Abubakar Malami San, and Department of State Service, DSS, and Director of the SSS in the state. Justice Obiora Gwantu had, in a ruling on August 4th, admitted the 12 applicants who have been in detention since July 1st on bail in the aggregate sum of 80 million naira. And while the court gave 4 of them whose bail applications were opposed by the DSS bail in the sum of 10 million naira, with 2 sureties in the like sum, it granted bail to 8th order that the DSS did not raise any objection to the applications, to the tune of 5 million naira, with 2 sureties in the like sum. And all the sureties were directed to submit evidence of payment of the tax for the past 3 years, and also depose to an affidavit of means. But however, 2 weeks after the detained persons secured bail, their lawyer, Pelumi Ojengbesi, reportedly decried the absence of the trial judge to sign the warrant for their release. Ojagbesi repeatedly told journalists that his findings revealed that the judge traveled outside the country for a seminar. But reacting to the development, Chief Registrar of the High Court, Mr. Emmanuel Gako, said it was not true that the Justice Gwantu disappeared as reported in the media. And Gako explained that the contrary to the claims in the media, Justice Gwantu went on a national assignment outside the country. And he said that these, though the court is currently on vacation, there are judges on the ground to handle such matters. And also moving forward, parents anxious as the NYSC continues to deploy corps members in Northeast. The lingering security challenges in the northern region is taking a heavy emotional toll on parents and guardians of serving and incoming corps members, as the many have appealed to the management of the National Youth Service Corps, the NYSC scheme, to redeploy them to more secure and peaceful states. And expressing great fears over the safety of their children in the volatile region, they have also pleaded with the federal government to save the young Nigerians from being killed by terrorists. And however, the NYSC appears to be unrelenting in its resolve to deploy corps members to troubled states in the far north for the one-year mandatory national service. At the onset of the Boko Haram insurgency, the management of the NYSC had taken the decision to suspend the posting and the conduct of orientation programs in affected states in the region. But the NYSC management came under pressure from governments of the affected states for the return of the posting and hosting of the orientation of the corps members in their domains. And according to some parents, the NYSC, while insisting that it partners effectively with the security agencies on the safety of the prospective corps members and the corps members, it has often turned down the applications for a relocation of their wards to relatively safer states. And now moving forward, news coming from around Africa: dozens die as Burkina Faso militants raise convoy. At least 47 people, including 30 civilians, have been killed in northern Burkina Faso in a clash between Islamist militants and government forces. At least 19 more people were wounded after the suspected jihadists raided a military convoy escorting civilians yesterday, the Ministry of Communications announced. And he said 14 soldiers and 3 volunteers from the Défense de la Patrie militia also died. And the army said government troops had neutralized 58 militants in retaliation and injured many of them without being specific on the numbers. And since 2015, Burkina Faso has been targeted by attacks that have resulted in numerous deaths and thousands of internally displaced persons. The violence has caused more than 17,000 people to leave the country since the beginning of the year, according to the UN. Moving forward on more updates from around Africa, Spain can repatriate children to Morocco, says the court. And Spain's national court has rejected moves by refugee rights groups to stop the government spending backing underage migrants to Morocco from Spain's African city of Ceuta. And the court says that it will not uphold an early suspension but warned that the repatriation policy might breach the human rights. The Spain government wants to return about 700 young Moroccans who were among thousands encouraged to cross into Ceuta in May during a dispute with Rabat and the Western Sahara, a former Spanish colony now ruled by Morocco. And repatriations were supposed to start last Friday, but several of the youths due to be sent back mounted a challenge. We're going to break right now, a very short break. When we come back, we get news from the foreign scene, precisely from Afghanistan.
Hello, great people. God bless you. Johnson Suleiman is my name, and I hope this message meets you well. It's a good news, and I'm telling you, it's one of the best things to have happened. Do you live in Virginia, in Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Maryland? Do you live in New York City? I'm coming to Baltimore for an outstanding move of the power of God. The Gospel Train Impact 2021 comes to Baltimore.
To fight the battles of life, strategy is stronger than energy. You need to be strategic so your end is not tragic.
Guess what? I'm coming with my wife, Dr. Lizzie Johnson Suleiman. We're going to be spending time to minister to people who have challenges in their life. They are believing God for a turnaround. They are believing God for an explosion in life and destiny. You don't want to miss these 4 meetings of hyper deluge of the glory of God.
Date 31st August and 1st September 2021 is happening at Martin West 6817 Dogwood Road, Baltimore, MD 21244. The time is 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. For inquiries, please call.
Welcome back, and now on news from the foreign scene. Afghanistan crisis. Biden says no American will be left behind. U.S. President Joe Biden has said U.S. troops may stay in Afghanistan beyond his withdrawal deadline as armed Taliban fighters kept desperate evacuees from reaching Kabul's airport. Mr. Biden wants U.S. forces out by the end of this month, but up to 15,000 U.S. citizens are stranded in the country. And the U.S. president told ABC News the turmoil in Kabul was unavoidable, and foreign governments are ramping up with airlifts of Western citizens and Afghans who worked with them. About 4,500 U.S. troops are in temporary control of Kazai International Airport in the nation's capital, but Taliban fighters and checkpoints ring the perimeter. The Taliban are blocking Afghans without travel documents, but even those with valid authorizations have struggled. Mr. Biden, a Democrat, said the U.S. would stay to get all Americans out of Afghanistan, even if it meant remaining beyond the 31st of August deadline for a complete withdrawal. And almost 6,000 people have been extracted so far. A Western official said they were diplomats, security staff, and aid workers and Afghans. And the Pentagon told reporters that they aim to expand their airlifts to 9,000 people a day. Now, in more news unfolding, Pakistan fences off from Afghan refugees. The tricolor flag of the Republic of Afghanistan has been replaced with the white flag of the Islamic Emirates of Afghanistan, and its place of Afghan borders security forces now stand gun-holding bearded Taliban militants. And Pakistan, worried about fighting a spillover, had shut its side of the border prior to the Taliban's takeover. But after brief closure, it was reopened for trade and restricted pedestrian movement. And normally, about 6,000 to 7,000 people would travel between the two countries daily, but today there are hardly 50 people standing on the Afghanistan side to enter Pakistan. And it's taken longer than usual. Pakistani security officials say they don't want any militants to enter disguised as civilians. That's why they have made the vetting process at the border more strict. And Tokham has been the main point of refugees' influx into Pakistan for decades. Amid increasing violence across the border in recent years, Pakistan has been fencing itself off the Afghanistan. All border crossing are now heavily manned, making it impossible for Afghan refugees to enter without government consent. And almost 3 million Afghan refugees, and half of them unregistered, have been living in Pakistan for decades. But now the government the government in Islamabad says it has reached its limit and cannot accept more people from the war-torn country, despite pleas from the UN Refugee Agency. Moving forward to business news, the FEC approves 658 million naira for sniffer dogs, and education and orders will be for 21 billion naira. The Federal Executive Council yesterday approved 21 billion naira for various projects in the education and aviation ministries, as well as a few other federal agencies. And the approval were made at the meeting of the council presided over by the President Muhammadu Buhari. The Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, Minister of State for Education, Chukwuemeka Nwajiba, and the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, briefed State House correspondents of an outcome of the meeting. And Sirika told reporters that the council approved 4 memoranda for the ministry, which totaled 16.7 billion naira. And according to the minister, the projects to execute in the contracts include the construction of Wachakal Airport in Yobe State at a cost of 6.3 billion naira, post-construction services for the same airport at a cost of 219.8 million naira, procurement of 8 airport rescue and firefighting vehicles at a cost of 9.5 billion naira, and a cost for the deployment of sniffer dogs to the Lagos and Abuja international airports at a cost of 658.8 million naira. Nwajiba, on his part, said the council approved a memorandum in favor of the Federal University of Petroleum Resources in a Furundeto state for construction of facilities including hostels at a cost of 2.7 billion naira. And similarly, Additional said council approved a contract worth 1.71 billion naira for 4 federal agencies, including the Federal Road Safety Commission, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, and the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. And moving forward, still on business news, NYSC to begin removal of sea wreckage. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency has said all is set for the flag off of an intensive wreck removal exercise in Nigerian waters. And the Director General of the NYSC, Dr. Bashir Jamo, disclosed this during a ministerial retreat organized by the Federal Ministry of Transport in Lagos. A statement by the agency said arrangements have been concluded for the recycling of wreckage recovered from the waters in partnership with Biafra state government and the Nigerian Railway Corporation, which already has a foundry in Lagos with the ultimate aim of creating wealth from waste and providing jobs for Nigerians. Speaking at the retreat, the Minister of Transport, Chibuike Amechi, said they are to access the progress made so far in the maritime sector in order to enhance efficiency in operations. He said the automation drive in the agency had led to the integrated use of technology in the certificate of competency verification process, which he said has seen a fall in manual verification practice. And according to Jamo, 446 beneficiaries of the program are currently undergoing sea time training, while 351 have been assigned to maritime training institutes and are in the process of boarding for sea time. He added that 93 beneficiaries of the Nigerian Seafarers, the development program, were undergoing the COC. 360 had completed sea time training and were awaiting the COC insurance, while 368 beneficiaries of the NSDP project were already fully employed. We're going to another short break right now. When we come back, we get news from the world of sports. Stay with us.
Hello, great people. God bless you. Johnson Suleiman is my name, and I hope this message meets you well. It's a good news, and I'm telling you, it's one of the best things to have happened. Do you live in Virginia, in Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Maryland? Do you live in New York City? I'm coming to Baltimore for an outstanding move of the power of God. The gospel train Impact 2021 comes to Baltimore.
To fight the battles of life, strategy is stronger than energy. You need to be strategic so your end is not tragic.
Guess what? I'm coming with my wife, Dr. Lisa Johnson Suleiman, We're going to be spending time to minister to people who have challenges in their life. They are believing God for a turnaround. They are believing God for an explosion in life and destiny. You don't want to miss these 4 meetings of hyper deluge of the glory of God.
Date 31st August and 1st September 2021 is happening at Martin West 6817 Dogwood Road, Baltimore, MD 21244. The time is 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. For inquiries, please call.
Welcome back. Now, news from the world of sports. Benfica edges PSV to boost Champions League hopes. Benfica moved towards a place in the Champions League group stage by beating PSV Eindhoven 2-1 in their playoff round first leg yesterday, despite a brilliant goal for the Dutch side's winger Cody Gakpo in Lisbon. And two-time European champions Benfica, who lost to PSV in the 1988 finals, are looking to return to club football's top table after losing in qualifying last season. It was the 5th match of the campaign already for the PSV, who have already knocked out Galatasaray and Midtjylland. Portugal forward Rafa Silva gave the host the lead in the 10th minute, latching onto close season, signing Roman Ramashkuch, clever pass and sliding a low finish into the bottom corner. And Benfica grabbed their second goal shortly before the halftime as German midfielder Julian Weigl turned home a loose ball in the box. But PSV winger Gakpo dragged his side back into the tie less than 6 minutes after the break with a wonderful individual goal, embarking on a driving run from inside his own half before finding the net from 20 yards out. Mario Götze was denied an equalizer by an excellent tackle by Rafa Silva, and the PSV pushed to no avail. Benfica knows they can book a spot in the group stage draw to be held in Istanbul on Thursday, August 26, if they avoid defeat in Eindhoven next Tuesday. And in all the sports news, and last on the news desk, Nigeria claims mixed relay gold at the World Under-20 Championship. Nigeria had a great first day to remember at the World Athletics Under-20 Championship on Wednesday as the 4x400 mixed relay team won the gold medal. Johnson Namani, Imaobong Nse Uko, Okpeyemi Oke and Bamidele Ajayi broke the championship record on the way to winning gold in a time after also breaking the championship record in their heats victory earlier in the day. And Uko ran a blistering second leg, powering to first position after collecting the baton from third place Namani before handing it over to Oke, who ran the third leg. Ajayi, who ran the anchor, also overcame a late resistance from Poland's Patryk Jigozewicz on the home straight to win the gold for Nigeria. In other races, Team Nigeria captain Godson Ogenebrume ran the second fastest time in the men's 100-meter semi-finals to qualify for Thursday's final, while Praise of Foku also qualified for the women's 100-meter finals. Tima God Bless was, however, not as lucky, as she could only place 5th in her semi-finals to miss out on the final spot. Her time was the fastest non-qualifier. And earlier in the day, Uko ran the fastest time of the 3 heats to qualify for the finals of the women's 400-meter on Saturday. Chinecherem Namdi threw a national under-20 record at the top to standing in the men's javelin throw qualifications, with the javelin landing at a mark of 78.02 meters in Group A. And meanwhile, the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, has hailed the 4x400 mixed relay team for their gold-winning feat. And Dare said the win should serve as a new start for Tonobroke Kowa-led board of the Athletics Federation in Nigeria. And that's the size of the news for us today on Celebration TV News Desk. If you're just joining us, here is a recap of the news making the headlines. Parents are anxious as NYSC continues to deploy core members in Northeast. Dozens die as Burkina Faso militants raid convoy. Afghanistan crisis, Biden says no American will be left behind. And the Federal Executive Council approves 658 million naira for sniffer dogs and education and others, will cost 221 billion naira. And lastly, on sports, Nigeria claims mixed relay gold at the World Under-20 Championship. And today on the photo of the day, we can see this photo of some people clapping for others. And what is my opinion is that you must work for a cause and not for applause. I'll say that again. You must work for a cause and not for applause, because working for a cause is more important than just the appreciation. You can also tell me your thoughts on the photo of the day on our different social media platforms. Don't forget, on Facebook it's Celebration TV, on Instagram it's My Celebration TV, on Twitter it's at My Celebration TV, and on YouTube it's Celebration TV. Now, the positive contribution to the wellness of the society you find yourself in or the organization you work for defines your leadership mind. As an individual who knows what to do and do without expecting to be pushed has backed his ways to success. And be it known today that everything we do, think, feel, and believe either have a positive or negative effect on humanity, on our national well-being. So be a part of nation building today and tomorrow. Thank you for watching the news on Celebration TV News Desk. It's my time, and see you tomorrow on the News Desk with Sherry Quinsley Brewer. Stay blessed and have a nice day.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing AIM of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Igbo